In today's society, there is a well-established prestige pathway for highly ambitious people. If you attend a high-ranking university, it's very likely you'll end up with a job in consulting and/or investment banking. In 2017, nearly 40% of Harvard graduates took consulting or finance jobs. That statistic remains equal or higher across other Ivy League universities. Most of these graduates end up at the so-called top firms. In consulting, that's firms like McKinsey, Bain, BCG. In finance, it's bulge brackets like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan. This means thousands of bright, hard-working, and sometimes overprivileged young adults are working for only a handful of firms every year. Over decades, these firms have thoroughly and meticulously infiltrated and transformed the culture of these universities, resulting in a staggeringly high conversion rate of graduates into their ranks. As a result, fewer candidates are left for other fields that need them, such as healthcare, education, energy, and environmental science. It's a real brain drain. On top, most of these students have no idea what they are getting into. They are doing it because of the prestige. Landing one of these jobs is seen as the pinnacle of a status culture in which they've been immersed, not realizing that there are alternative paths that fit them better and lead to more fulfillment, money, and power. More on that in a minute. To understand this pattern, we must first understand the average student on the prestige pathway. Meet Alice. Oh, sorry, can we maybe get something more stereotypical? Alright. Meet Chad. Ever since his classmates didn't give him any respect in school, Chad has a drive to show the world he's the best. The guy can literally achieve anything. He finished school top of his class, went on to study at one of the country's most prestigious universities, all the while starting his own student club, establishing a Patrick Bateman-like skincare routine, playing a number of instruments, and being shredded as yeah, that guy. From being born to being 21, he has ascended the ladder of our status culture and educational system. He's jumped through all the impossibly high hoops and done exactly what today's young high achievers are supposed to do. Now, Chad is nearing the end of his university time, and he doesn't really know what he wants. Sure, conquering the world and becoming next Steven Schwartzman was always on the to-do list. But how to actually get there? What happens if he chooses the wrong major or takes the wrong job? What if he doesn't like his path? There is no right answer. His life is not like all the tests he used to ace. Now imagine, what if Chad could find a career that kept his options open? One that gave him skills he could apply anywhere, that boosted his resume to make him even more employable after college. One that postponed decision-making and put him in touch with smart and hard-working people. That's the prestige pathway of industries like consulting and finance. That's the promise they make, the allure they create, and the status they symbolize. And it is difficult to consider other options. By the way, if you like this video, please leave a comment and a like to overstimulate the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you. These firms start recruiting and marketing extremely early on college campuses, when most students have never even heard of most of them. Unlike their senior counterparts who know all the differences among the major firms off the top of their heads. Successful alumni proudly parade their experiences in these fields and pass on stories and opportunities to their friends. Seniors are fully engaged in job searches and constantly prepping for interviews. Juniors are interviewing for the summer internships that will hopefully guarantee them offers the following year. Entire student organizations like the Undergraduate Consulting Club are created to shuttle high performers into these companies. Once you are on the prestige pathway, there is no time to consider other options. And once these graduates start working at these firms, they get what they were promised: prestige. The actual job, however, involves a lot of tedious number crunching on Excel, as well as endless versions of slide deck formatting, trying to reach zero defect. But it doesn't matter. That's what these students wanted. And this begs the question: what's wrong with chasing prestige? It comes down to value creation. As Andrew Yang, founder of Venture for America, states in his book, Smart People Should Build Things. Professional services industries like finance, consulting, and legal services are, by definition, meta industries. That is, they serve to help large companies raise money, buy and sell each other, reorganize, implement new systems, conduct complex transactions, and so forth. They are dependent on companies coming into being and becoming big enough to hire them. Imagine a country that poured the majority of its resources into consulting and finance, as opposed to research and development, new ventures, and new infrastructure. You'd certainly get a lot of great PowerPoint analyses, but probably not much else. Graduate biology students are being courted by more management consulting firms than pharmaceutical or biotechnology companies. Surely there must be a better place in society for a computer science PhD than a hedge fund's tech department. But wait! On this channel we were never concerned with making the world a better place. Mostly we are highly ambitious chads and chadasses, wanting to acquire two things: money and power. We'll worry about giving back to society in our 40s and 50s. Our 20s and 30s are for building. At least that's what it was like for me. But also in terms of making money, the path of prestige might not be the best one for you. 3 issues to be aware of. As outlined in the video 3 career paths that guarantee millionaire status early in life, management consulting is not really among these 3 paths that return maximum financial ROI. Finance is one of the 3 paths, but there is a very clear hierarchy within the finance industry that you need to be aware of. But there's a bigger mistake you want to avoid. Finance and consulting jobs are full of highly competitive people. In this kind of environment, you are easily tempted to give 100% at your primary job. However, that would be a mistake. What you want to do instead is do just enough to get the promotion, meaning you want to be in the top 30%, not a single bit more. It's called Pareto. And it's everything. The remaining time you want to invest in building a side venture that has the potential to replace your primary cash flow source in several years. Because believe me, you need an exit vehicle like that. It's difficult to demote your lifestyle once you've become accustomed to it. When you're rocking a high 6-figure salary and steadily contributing the highest amounts to your retirement accounts, wearing well-made clothes, living in a well-appointed apartment, and buying most of the things you want whenever you want them, it's pretty hard to switch to a more exciting job that doesn't pay nearly as much. This phenomenon is known as the golden handcuffs. So where do we go from here? Start mapping out your career at a young age. Create a detailed 10-year, 3-year, and 1-year master plan and update it at least once a year. That means thinking exactly about where you want to be in 1 year, 3 years, and 10 years, but also putting in place contingency plans in case your master plan does not work out. What's your plan B for various important sub-goals in your life? In addition, when constructing your plans, pay attention to the 7-pillar framework I presented in the first episode of this series, The Boring Path to 1 million net worth before 35. Focus on building a participating career that lets you participate in the value you generate for your employer as early as possible. Invest the remaining time not in MDMA and parties, but in building a side venture. Get smart about investing and adapt your investment strategy to your age and net worth. Incorporate multiple geographies, for example, through summer school, studying abroad, or working abroad, networking mechanisms, as well as early specialization on 2 to 3 verticals in your life. And remember to never deprioritize health and sports. And if you decide for a career in finance or consulting because it makes sense for your particular career path, that's okay. But don't go this path just because everyone seemingly does so. Because you know what we call the things everyone else does? Normal. And normal sucks in our world. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. A couple of quick remarks. Firstly, I have a new haircut. This is much more time efficient, saves me around 13.5 minutes every single day. Secondly, if you like the video, you know the routine. Thirdly, I'm spending a lot of my time recently angel investing. So if you have a great, early stage startup, you have a great early stage project, hit me up and maybe I might be able to invest. Fourthly, on the side with a couple of other people, we're working on a platform called Chinese Alpha, where we give retail investors insights into Chinese equities. So if you are able to put together a nice equity research report, you can write, analyze companies, then hit me up. There might be opportunities for you there. And lastly, what's your suggestions for future videos? I hope you enjoy those. Let me know what you would like me to talk about. What are some topics you're interested in? And I always make time for YouTube. Not as frequently as I did in the past, but I'll definitely keep doing videos. And it's fun to talk about topics that are also fun to me. So hit me up. Cheers and goodbye from Shanghai. Bye bye.